To open bObi Pet and replace her bumper, you will need the following supplies: a new bumper and a Phillips head screwdriver. Before we get started, turn bObi Pet off and flip her over onto a flat surface. Next, remove the dustbin. You will then need to remove bObi Pet's front wheel. Grip the wheel with your hand and pull straight up, using the screwdriver for leverage. Behind the wheel are 2 screws. There is a larger screw set deeper in the wheel compartment. Use the screwdriver to remove it. Keep this screw and all other screws removed from bObi Pet for later reassembly. For the next step, remove the screws on both sides of the dustbin. Then remove the corner pieces that were held down by the screws. Grip the brush compartment and pull down to reveal 2 screws on a red fastener. Remove them with the screwdriver. Pull the brush compartment up until it is freed from the red fastener. Then, detach the brush compartment and set it aside. Remove the 4 screws located beneath the brush compartment. Next, remove the 2 screws on the dustbin's red fastener. Remove the fastener and set it aside for reassembly. The cover is no longer secured, so carefully slip bObi Pet onto her wheels. Lift the cover to reveal the mainboard underneath. Remove the 2 circuit plugs connecting the lid to the mainboard. Place the cover aside and you're ready to replace any of bObi Pet's internal parts. Flip bObi Pet's cover over onto a flat surface so that you see 2 green circuit boards positioned at the top. There are 8 circuit plugs that you will need to remove. If there is any glue holding down the other wires, you may scrape it off using a tool such as a screwdriver. Leave the smallest circuit plug at the top in place and do not remove it. Next, remove the 4 screws connecting the bumper to bObi Pet's lid. You may nudge 2 of the oblong wall sensors out to allow room for your screwdriver. And then replace them when done. Lastly, remove the screw on the small plastic hook holding down the yellow circuit plug. Depending on your bObi Pet's model, there may be 2 hooks. Keep all hooks and screws safely aside for later reassembly. On the left and right sides of the bumper are bObi Pet sensor strips. They connect to the circuit board by red and white wires. The sensor strips may be glued to the inside of the cover. Use a tool like a screwdriver to break off the glue. Then lift the whole bumper up and out. Now line up bObi Pet's new bumper with the corresponding screw posts on her lid. Make sure the sensor strips slide in behind the screw post on both ends of the bumper. Once the bumper is positioned securely on the lid, reinstall the 4 screws around the inside of the bumper. Make sure the red and white wires are tucked behind the screw post at the end of the bumper. Then reattach all 8 circuit plugs. In the center of bObi Pet's bumper is a circuit plug for one of the 5 wall sensors. Plug this one in at the topmost spot. The left side of the circuit board has 3 spaces. The top space corresponds to another wall sensor. It has the shortest wire. Just below that is where the leftmost wall sensor plugs in. It has a longer wire. The space on the very bottom is for bObi Pet sensor strips. Repeat the previous process for the circuit plugs on the right. They follow the same pattern for installation. The shortest wire plugs in at the top. The longer wire for the rightmost wall sensor plugs in below that. And the space at the very bottom is for the sensor strips on the right side of bObi Pet. Make sure all wires are tucked behind the black hooks lining the inside of the bumper. Next, attach the thick yellow wire to the lower edge of the circuit board. To secure it, you'll need to replace the plastic hook removed previously. Place the wire through the hook and line the hook up with the screw post on bObi pet's cover. Install the screw on the hook and double check that all circuit plugs are securely in place. Once that's done, all that's left is closing bObi pet. Attach the 2 circuit plugs from the cover back onto bObi pet's main board. The yellow wired plug on bObi pet's lid connects to the right side of the main board. The white wired plug connects to the center of the main board. Lay down the cover and line up the edges precisely. While holding bObi pet's top and bottom together, carefully flip her over onto a flat surface. Next, reinstall the front wheel screw. Place the front wheel on top and firmly push down to secure it. Replace the dustbin's red fastener and install its 2 screws. Next, install the 4 screws in the space beneath the brush compartment. Plug in the brush compartment. Then, replace its red brush fastener and install the 2 screws. Position the brush compartment back in its original space. Now, reinsert the corner pieces on both sides of the dustbin, with the arms of the brush attachment linked. Make sure the rubber strip is not stuck under the brush compartment. Lastly, reinstall the 2 screws in each of the corner pieces. Make sure the bin can slide in easily before using bObi pet again. Congratulations on completing bObi pet's bumper replacement and happy cleaning! To open bObi pet and replace her bumper, you will need the following supplies: a new bumper and a Phillips head screwdriver. Before we get started, turn bObi pet off and flip her over onto a flat surface. Next, remove the dustbin. You will then need to remove bObi pet's front wheel. Grip the wheel with your hand and pull straight up, using the screwdriver for leverage. Behind the wheel are 2 screws. There is a larger screw set deeper in the wheel compartment. Use the screwdriver to remove it. Keep this screw and all other screws removed from bObi pet for later reassembly.